In the heart of an Iraqi sandstorm, 9 American tanks stumbled into a hornet's nest. What happened next wasn't a battle, it was an execution. February 26, 1991. The ground war of Operation Desert Storm is just hours old. A single U.S. cavalry troop, outnumbered and blinded by the weather, was about to redefine modern armored warfare. This is the story of the Battle of 73 Easting, a stunningly violent, one-sided engagement that lasted just 23 minutes and shattered an entire Iraqi armored brigade. Welcome to Top Tier TV. Today, we are dissecting one of the most decisive and brutal tank battles in history. This isn't just a story about superior technology. It's about superior training, leadership, and the devastating consequences when a modern military force meets a stagnant one. This is the story of how the U.S. Army's 3 Corps found the enemy's flank and unleashed hell. By late February 1991, the Iraqi army was battered but not broke. After a 38-day aerial bombardment, Saddam Hussein's forces were dug in along the Saudi-Kuwaiti border. His elite Republican Guard units were held in reserve, ready to counterattack. The Allied ground plan, Operation Desert Sabre, was a massive left hook, a sweeping maneuver to the west that would envelop the Iraqi forces and destroy them. Leading this charge was the U.S. 7 Corps, and at its tip was the 2nd Armored Cavalry Regiment, 2nd ACR. Their job was to act as the Corps' eyes and ears, to find the enemy and fix them in place for the heavier divisions behind them to destroy. On the afternoon of February 26th, the scouts of the 2nd ACR were pushing north through a violent sandstorm. The weather was so bad that helicopters were grounded and visibility was down to a few hundred meters. They were navigating by GPS, moving towards a map coordinate known as 73 Easting, a north-south line on the military map that was their limit of advance for the day. In command of Eagle Troop was a young, aggressive Captain H.R. McMaster. He was a student of military history, and he knew they were getting close. The air was thick with tension. They were in the middle of what the Iraqis called the mother of all battle, and they had yet to see the enemy. At 4:10 p.m., through the swirling sand and dust, Eagle Troop's thermal sights began to pick up contacts. At first, just specks on the horizon, but these specks had the distinct hot signature of tank engines and exhaust. They had stumbled not onto a scout screen, but directly into the main defensive positions of the Tawakkalna division of the Republican Guard. The Iraqis were dug into defensive berms, completely unaware of the Americans' approach. They were not expecting an attack in the middle of a sandstorm. Captain McMaster's voice came over the troopnet, calm and clear. "There's enemy to the direct front. Battle carry, Sabot, 3,000 meters. Fire on my command." The technological gap was about to become horrifically apparent. The M1A1 Abrams had 2 revolutionary advantages. First, its thermal sights could see through the sandstorm, giving its crews clear vision while the Iraqis were peering blindly into a wall of dust. Second, its fire control computer allowed it to fire accurately while moving at high speed. The Iraqi T-72s, on the other hand, had to stop to fire with any hope of accuracy, and their sights were utterly useless in the storm. The order was given. The first 120mm Sabot round, a depleted uranium dart moving at over a mile per second, screamed downrange. The effect was apocalyptic. The Sabot round would punch straight through the T-72's armor, superheating the inside of the tank and igniting the stored ammunition. The resulting explosion was so violent it would literally blow the turret off the tank, a phenomenon known as jack-in-the-boxing. For the crew inside, there was no chance. The battle instantly devolved into a chaotic, close-range melee. Eagle Troop's 9 tanks and 12 Bradleys charged forward, engaging targets at ranges as close as 600 meters. The Iraqis, caught completely by surprise, were slow to react. Some tanks tried to maneuver, others simply sat in their positions, waiting for orders that would never come. The U.S. crews were a well-rehearsed machine. Loaders slammed rounds into the breach with practiced efficiency. Gunners acquired and engaged targets in seconds. Tank commanders directed fire and managed the chaos. They engaged not just tanks, but armored personnel carriers, trucks, and artillery pieces. The violence was relentless and absolute. In the span of just 23 minutes, Eagle Troop alone destroyed 28 Iraqi T-72 tanks, 16 other armored vehicles, and 30 trucks. They had advanced nearly 6 kilometers and shattered an entire enemy battalion. They suffered 1 casualty. Not a single American vehicle was lost. As the sun set and the firing stopped, the scale of the victory became clear. The battlefield was a graveyard of steel. The Battle of 73 Easting was a tactical masterpiece, a perfect demonstration of what happens when superior technology is wielded by superbly trained soldiers under brilliant, aggressive leadership. It was more than just a local victory. It had ripped a hole in the Republican Guard's defenses, allowing the full weight of the U.S. 7 Corps to pour through and complete the encirclement of the Iraqi forces in Kuwait. The battle broke the back of Saddam's best units and demonstrated a generational leap in military capability that the world had never seen before. The Battle of 73. Easting is studied in military academies around the world to this day. It stands as a stark lesson in the importance of initiative, technology, and training. But it also raises a profound question. Was this a fair fight, or an inevitable outcome of a vast technological and doctrinal gap? I want to hear what you think. What was the single most decisive factor in this overwhelming victory? The M1A1's technology, Captain McMaster's aggressive leadership, or the poor state of the Iraqi military? Share your analysis in the comments below. If you want to explore more of history's most decisive military engagements, from the deserts of Iraq to the beaches of Normandy, then you need to subscribe to Top Tier TV and hit the notification bell. We are your source for in-depth, respectful military history. If this video gave you a clear picture of this pivotal moment in modern warfare, please give it a like. It helps us immensely in bringing these crucial stories to a wider audience. Thank you for watching. Remember the stories, honor the service. We'll see you in the next video.